What's up, guys? So today I'm going to teach you how to run meta ads, but first we're going to go to a co-working space that's in my building. But first, I want to show you my gym. This is my little gym. Not too big, but you can see we have a beautiful view right here. You can see some people playing soccer right there. This is pretty nice. This is a pretty sick view to film a YouTube video at. But today, I'll be giving you all the fundamentals of running meta ads and probably even TikTok ads. I'll do a separate video on TikTok ads, but first meta ads. So we have about 100,000 euros in spend on our ad account. And I'll explain to you how we scaled that. We scaled that through probably a couple months, like 3 to 4 months, but it wasn't really so difficult. It's a pretty easy strategy, and it's pretty much just, you need to have a lot of creative input. If you have a ton of creative input, then you have way more stuff you can test. And if you don't have anything to test, then pretty much you don't collect any data. And the real principle of meta ads, and probably for that even any sort of ads, is running ads so you can collect data. That's pretty much all it is. So a lot of people ask me what works best: ABO campaigns, CBO campaigns, Advantage Plus campaigns. And the thing is, for me, I run ABO campaigns mainly and sometimes Advantage Plus, but I know people that scale even harder than I do and they run CBO campaigns. For me, CBO doesn't really work too well. I've tried it a couple times, but you have to figure out what works for you. Try all 3 of them. You'll see in like 3 days what works, what doesn't work. And then whatever works, you just continue scaling that. Some people just only scale with Advantage Plus. Some people only scale with ABO. Some people only with CBO. It's really, to me, it depends on your product. It depends on who you're targeting, and yeah, just try it for yourself. So now you might be asking yourself, well, how do meta ads actually work? Meta ads are a bidding game. So pretty much it's an auction where everyone just throws in a bid, and whoever has the highest bid wins the buy. That's why when you see people like huge firms that sell really good products and you try to copy them, there's like a 90% chance that it won't work unless you have a way better angle than they do, because they will just outbid you. They can sell at higher prices, meaning they can spend more on ads, meaning they will always get the highest bid and they will probably always crush you. So the way you actually find, well, I'm not going to go in depth about how you find winning products, but the way you actually get good products is if you have a high profit margin where you can pretty much spend way more on ads, so you can outbid everyone else. So if you outbid everyone else, you might have a lower return on ad spend, but you will always win a buy, you will collect way more data, and you can, in the long run, crush your competition 100 times better. All right, so you might think, what should I run for targeting? What should I run for the actual settings inside of the campaign? And to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't really look into that too much. I just put in a budget, I set everything broad, and then I just run my ads. The reason is you should have a product that is fairly broad, that doesn't go inside of a niche too much. You will only limit yourself by doing that. If you have less people you can target, then you'll just have obviously less views, and less views is less money. So find a product that is very broad, that you can target a lot of people, and especially people not only in your home country, but like throughout the entire world. That will make you way more money in the long run. So what has worked for me is I test a lot of ad sets. I do ABO campaigns. Like I said before, it doesn't mean that just because it works for me, it works for you. Just try it yourself and see if it works. But I'm just telling you what worked for me. So ABO campaigns, I run a budget of like, to test like $100 a day. And I see how much it's spent. So if I spend 3 times my average order value, then I decide if I turn it off or if I leave it on. If I spend 3 times my average order value and I'm profitable, then I leave it on. If I'm not profitable, I just immediately turn it off, because it makes no sense to continue testing. The data is there. I know if it worked or not. If I have 10 ad sets and 5 of them run profitable after 3 times return on ad spend, then I will see that all other 5 are being turned off. So what is extremely important in running meta ads, like I said before, it's just collecting data. Collecting data is literally everything, because Meta's algorithm is so strong, they will know exactly who to target. But if you haven't spent any money in the platform, then Meta won't know who to target. If you, like, say you're targeting, I don't know, backpackers that go around Thailand, and you're trying to sell them a perfect backpack, just as an example, then even if you put in the targeting backpackers or traveling or whatever, Meta still, I mean, it will know sort of who to target, but it could also just be people interested in this topic and not really the people that are going to go backpack. But if you leave it at a broad audience, you sort of do the targeting testing inside of your creative, then Meta will know exactly who to target, and it can collect way more data off that, because it just knows how their user experiences within the app, how they behave within Facebook, what they interact with, and they can target off that, and it's way, way better. The algorithm is a million times better, even way better than TikTok's algorithm and Snapchat's algorithm, probably maybe even Google's algorithm. It knows exactly who to target because it has so much data, and the ad spend is like 5 times bigger on Meta than on TikTok. So run Meta ads first. I did the mistake, I mean, not really a mistake, but I only ran TikTok ads. It worked really well. I eventually got banned on TikTok, but that's another story. Now I run Meta ads, and I realized that Meta ads are just way better than TikTok ads. If you can actually run them well, if you know what to do, then you can spend way, way faster, and you can scale it up way, way faster. All right, so there are a lot of people that don't really know how to calculate their profit, and they think they make way more than they actually do. At the end, they still have hidden costs that they don't know about. So I'm going to tell you about the hidden costs. So when you run a store, if you sell a product, first you have to pay your tax. I mean, at least for German laws, you have to pay your tax. If you sell within like a, I don't know, Hong Kong or Cyprus setup, you can probably avoid the taxes, but that's a different story. Everyone has to know how they do that. First you have your tax, your VAT, then you have the Shopify and PayPal fees, which is 1.8% plus 30 cents depending on your plan, but that's at least for me. Then you have your shipping costs, and depending on if you do drop shipping or actual e-commerce, you might have your shipping included with your agent, but shipping costs, then you have your product costs, then you have to also calculate how many returns you get, because if you have high returns, then it makes absolutely no sense to run ads. And then at the end, you just have your ads. So you have to calculate everything so that at the end, you know how much you can spend on ads to break even. Some people actually scale with like a 2 ROAS, 2.5 ROAS, and it's just because the shipping and the product costs are so low. And these are the products that I tend to usually look for, because if you have products where your break-even ROAS is like at 1.3 or 1.2 or even 1.4, you can run at a 2x ROAS and you can still be like profitable maybe 20-30%. So you have a 20 to 30% net margin on a product that you only need to break even at a 1.3 ROAS. And breaking even at a 1.3 ROAS is not hard at all. You literally have to run dog shit ads to break even at a 1.3 ROAS. So look into those products, look into products you can literally buy for a couple bucks and sell for like, I don't know, 20-30 bucks. And also figure out how you can spend more on advertising. Usually you do this by selling bundles, doing upsells, and et cetera, because you just need a higher average order value so you can put way more into advertising. And that's the key. If you can spend more, you'll, like I said before, if you spend more, you'll get the buy. You'll win the bid and you'll get the purchase from your customer, and then you can actually start scaling because you can outbid everyone. Now, you probably figured out that selling a 15 to 20 buck product doesn't really make any sense unless you're advertising through TikTok organic or through Instagram organic. But the reason why this isn't really so sustainable is because if you run organic stores only, you'll have to post, I don't know, like 5 TikToks or 10 TikToks a day. I've tried this before. I've made hundred thousands of dollars by just running organic stores. I like it because the profit margins are way better, but you can't scale like this. At a certain point, you just get shadow banned. It doesn't work. But if you have actual good creatives, you post them organically and then you run Spark ads on them, then you can actually scale long term because you have a running system, you have a good creative, you know what to post, you know what works well, and then you can just start pumping in money. You get more views, you get more sales, and it actually works. So look into that, but you have to realize that if you sell at a low cost, then it makes absolutely no sense because you have absolutely zero space for advertising. So keep that in mind, and yeah. Alright guys, so I hope you like this video. I am going to go take a few calls, and then I'm going to go to this wonderful pool right here. This is my pool. I literally just woke up and this is how nice it looks. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment on what you want to see next. I will keep making these videos and make them as best as possible. So take care, guys.